Usually, humans are too afraid to let go of the truth they believe in, simply because every other person believes in it, thus turning it to a norm, which is why most people live a life below or at par with mediocrity. This widely acceptance of norms is part of what hinders growth. Growth of a world, growth of a continent, growth of a country, growth of an individual. But being able to truly defend what you believe as truth lies in finding out other so-called truth, which doesn't necessarily mean changing your beliefs, but at the very least, taking you off the stage of mediocrity. What's up, people of this weird planet called Earth? Welcome to episode 38 of History's Most Influential Humans podcast with yours truly, Larry Mappa. On today's episode, I'm going to be telling you about the life of an influential physician who got criticized for his controversial discovery by everyone who respected and admired him, because his work contradicted decades of scientific beliefs on the production and circulation of blood in the body. Born on April 1st, 1578, Harvey was the eldest of 9 children. His father's name was Thomas and his mother's name was Joan. His initial education was in Folkestone, where he learned Latin, after which he enrolled in the King's School, Canterbury, for 5 years. He then went to Caius College in Cambridge to acquire a Bachelor of Arts degree, graduating in the year 1597, after which he went to Italy to study at the University of Padua. In 1599, there he fell in love with the works of one of his tutors, who would later be referred to as the father of embryology, an anatomist and surgeon named Fabricius. Harvey graduated as a doctor of medicine at the age of 24 from the University of Padua on 25 April 1602. He then left Italy to England, where he became a fellow of Gonville and Caius College, his former school. Then he established himself in London, joining the Royal College of Physicians on 5th October 1604. Harvey then went on to marry the daughter of the physician to the Queen, Elizabeth I at the time. The physician's daughter was named Elizabeth Brown. Interesting coincidence. This, even though it might not have been planned, was a big advantage in his career, as he turned out to become the physician of King James I and later on his son Charles. Harvey succeeded Dr. Wilkinson as the physician in charge of St. Bartholomew Hospital on 14th October 1609, where he worked for most of his practicing life aside his other dedications. It was during this period he was able to conduct tests on both dead bodies and cold-blooded animals to understand the circulation of blood. Yeah, weird, right? So before Harvey's discovery, the worldly belief of blood circulation came from a Greek physician, surgeon, and philosopher, dated to be from the 2nd century, named Galen. Galen declared that blood was produced in the liver, which he saw as the center of the body and not the heart. It was then sent to the heart, which pumped it out to different parts of the body, where it would be consumed. But contrary to this, Harvey, after numerous weird, curiously motivated research, published his book, De Motu Cordis, Anatomical Account of the Motion of the Heart and Blood, in 1628, in the city of Frankfurt, saying that blood is pumped from the heart to every other part of the body and continued to move in a circle. I'll not go into details on all the theories of Harvey in his book, but the main thing to note here is that it completely contradicted the widely used belief of Galen on theories relating to blood and its circulation, which caused a lot of backlash to Harvey, as people who admired and respected him even criticized his discovery due to the fact that he suddenly contradicted about 1,300 years of belief in their man crush, Galen. This affected Harvey a lot, but it didn't stop researching, lecturing, and working until about 1645, when he started to gradually retire from public life and dedications, which was expected, as he had clocked 68 years and without a child, and had lost about 3 brothers and his wife. How sad. Well, at this age, he returned to London to live with his brothers Eliab and Daniel at different periods and spent most of his time reading literature. At this time, the new aged students he had already taught were influenced by his discovery of blood circulation, but his discovery had not been widely accepted yet. As everyone will, Harvey died on 3rd June 1657 in his brother Eliab's house from cerebral hemorrhage without a child to his name. It took about 20 years for his theory of the circulation of blood to be generally accepted, and about 45 years before it was used in textbooks in 1673. After his death, if only they had believed him and done a research on his work and not criticized it. But on the bright side, he is now credited for the proper discovery of the circulation of blood and the basis of so many discoveries and research on human body today. Well, that's it on today's episode of HMIH podcast, guys. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you have an amazing November. I really hope you have an amazing November because it is also my birth month. I'll see you next month on another episode, inshallah. Damila Imapa out.